I attended my mother's funeral a week ago. I just found out the coffin was empty, dead outside our front door. That was how my mother was found one dreary September morning. Murdered, the police say, but no one to pin the crime to. Looking back, I should have taken the signs more seriously. My mother was constantly looking out the window into the woods, biting her nails nervously as if something out there worried her. She even checked the doors every night to make sure they were locked tight after dinner. My father and I brushed it off as perhaps just a simple paranoia, but obviously it wasn't. Looking at her state, you wouldn't think it was the work of the killer due to the absence of any wounds or abrasions on her skin. Instead, she'd been suffocated. Saying that my world was absolutely ripped away from me would be an understatement. At that time in my life, I didn't think things could become more horrendous than they already were, but I couldn't have been more wrong. In fact, the death of my mother would be the least of my problems. Since my mother had not been brutally disfigured in any way, my father decided the funeral would be an open casket. I must say, as much as I missed my mother and wanted her back, I didn't want to see her in a state of death. I already unwillingly had to when I left to get the mail that morning, and it left a feeling inside my stomach that I don't think I'll ever get to go away. It was the night before the funeral that I first heard the tapping. It started around 10 o'clock p.m., and it was coming from right outside my window. Tap, 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 tap. The tapping pattern came in pairs of two. At first I thought it might be a branch bumping up against the pane until the thought entered my head. Could it be the killer? My whole body tensed up, and it felt as if my heart was beating in my head. Without thinking it all the way through, I ripped my curtains open to observe what was producing the noise. I stared through my window, and to my surprise, I saw nothing. Just the wide open backyard and the forest outline. I decided it must have been a small animal or something, and I rolled back over to sleep. I prayed the whole morning that the funeral would be normal, that things would be okay, and that I would feel some sort of closure on the whole matter. However, something happened that turned my world upside down.